Hey, what's up, Colorado FBLA? This is Bailey Clear, 2014-2015 State President, and this is going to be a quick video of travel and packing tips. These are some tips I've picked up over my travels, and I hope these tips are helpful when preparing to pack for conferences or just traveling in general. So, I'm currently packing to head out to Nashville for nationals, and so I'm taking a quick break to give you guys these tips and hopefully make your packing and travel experience great. Tip number 1 is to always bring a carry-on with the essentials if the airline loses your bag. That way you're prepared. Some people choose not to bring carry-ons, but if there's something you must have on your trip, make sure you carry it on. As an officer, I'm going to need my uniform. So we're actually reviewing those in Nashville, so that is not in this bag, but know that when I do pack my carry-on, that will be included. But what I always pack on my carry-on is going to be my toiletries. Of course, they follow the regulations set out by TSA. I have a change of clothes for the next day so that I'm comfortable in some fresh new clothes if my bag still hasn't arrived, and then some pajamas so that I'm comfortable that night. So that's what I always have on my carry-on. The second tip is to make sure you leave some room in your bag for souvenirs. A lot of people forget about this when they're packing and they pack their bag to the brim. My suggestion is that if you're traveling with a friend or family member, get 2 suitcases, put all of your clothes inside the smaller suitcase, then put your smaller suitcase inside the bigger suitcase, zip up your big suitcase. You're just taking one bag with you. It makes it a lot easier to transport stuff at the airport. And then when you get out there, you have a whole bag to fill with whatever you please. The third tip is to make a list so that you prevent overpacking. This may seem simple, but it is very effective, and you can either choose to just write down a piece of pen and paper, or if you're a techie, there are apps that are also available to help you pack. Tip number 4 is try and bring clothes that you can get multiple uses out of. By having tops and bottoms that you can mix, you allow yourself more room in your bag. If you are traveling for a long amount of time, bring laundry detergent and use your hotel facilities, find a laundromat, or wash your clothes in the sink. Also remember to pack comfortable walking shoes. Tip number 5. If you are really questioning something because you don't have enough room, it's really heavy or bulky, or you just aren't sure if you need it, chances are you won't. If you do end up needing it, you can probably buy it wherever you are traveling. Tip number 6 is to travel with cash. I cannot stress this enough. I know this is only $2, but you get the idea. A lot of people are reluctant to travel with cash, but in the chance that your card gets blocked by your bank, you need something to survive on. Call your bank ahead of time to let them know that you will be traveling so that they're aware. Some only require you to notify them if you're traveling internationally, but it's always good to play it safe. Use your card as much as possible, but remember, some places only accept cash. Carry enough cash so if your card gets blocked, you can still function until that gets cleared up. Also, if you are using a debit card, make sure you know if there's a daily limit. A lot of high school checking accounts have limits, so make sure that you plan accordingly. Tip number 7 is to keep the name and address of your hotel in your phone, as well as giving it to your parent or guardian before leaving, so they have a sure way of getting a hold of you. Also, make sure to write down your room number. I always do it on my hand. Never ever do it on your room key, because if somebody picks it up, they're just going to walk into your room, no problem. It's okay to put it on your phone, but if it dies, you might be in trouble. So just make sure that you have a way of remembering your room number, because that can get kind of confusing, especially in large hotels. Tip number 8 is to have a copy of your insurance card, or just carry the physical insurance card with you in case you need to be taken to a hospital or doctor. Tip number 9 is to research the area. Being spontaneous can lead to adventure, but in your downtime you want to make sure that you have an idea of what you're doing so that you're using your time effectively. I also suggest researching restaurants. You can either use Yelp, or I always choose to look at the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives website to see if they have been to that city, and if they have, I try to hit up some of those restaurants. You usually get a really good variety of food, as well as finding some local treasures. Tip number 10, and this is my personal favorite, it is the one I actually find most useful and something nobody really thinks about, is to bring a power strip with you. Don't put it in your bag, put it in like your backpack or whatever you're bringing as a carry-on, so you can plug it in at the airport. You'll make a lot of friends because the airports don't have enough outlets, hotels don't have enough outlets, so that way you have more options to charge things. If you need to straighten or curl your hair in the morning, that gives you some more outlets. If you have a ton of electronics to charge at night, that way you're not hogging all of your hotel's rooms electronics, especially when you're going to be staying with 3 other people. So these come in, it's so handy, and it's something really unique. A lot of people don't think about it, but it is probably one of the most useful things I have found when traveling. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you learned something new. I hope one of these 10 tips or all of these 10 tips were helpful and useful to you. If you're going to be in Nashville, I look forward to seeing you out there. Everybody have safe travels, and I will see you down the road.